Okay, so I have no idea how to start this. Oh, I need my phone. Okay, so I've been trying to come up with a way to keep everyone in my life informed about what I'm doing in college. My first thought was to blog. Then my second thought was actually to do videos, like monthly update videos. And you know, you get to college and you realize you don't have enough time to think and sit down and film something about each month of your college experience. Especially when within your first week, a whole kink gets thrown into your plan about what your first video is going to be about. So I'm trying this again with a semester update to tell you everything in short version, hopefully, of what I did the first semester of college at the University of Alabama as a freshman. So I guess we'll just start from the beginning. When I first started to try and film something like this, which was move-in day, I got the camera out the morning of and was ready to film the whole experience, but it ended up being a little bit more stressful than I had originally planned because me and my mom are very much rule followers, like to a T. Like if someone tells us you can't go this way, we're not gonna go that way. And my dad is more of a realist, like what if they didn't mean it that way? Like what if we should have done this? And so we probably should have listened to him a little bit sooner. It was an ordeal getting to my dorm. But I moved into John England Junior Hall on August 9th, I believe. And it was a super smooth process. They had movers come to your car as soon as you pulled up to the building, load up these huge boxes full of all your stuff. And by the time I could go to the front desk, literally sign my name that I was there, and walk up the stairs to my room, they'd already moved the majority of my stuff out of those boxes and into the room, which was awesome. Me and Carly moved in 4 hours-ish, I think, apart, so that meant she had enough time to get all of her stuff unloaded, decorated, put together. So by the time I got there, she was finishing up some last minute things, and then they could leave and go like grocery shopping and everything while we did the same thing she had just been doing. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is Carly, my wonderful roommate, who honestly it could not have worked out better, because honestly a lot of my friends have had the horror stories that you hear about, but I have had nothing even close to it. Me and Carly get along so well. We have a lot of the same interests, which I think adds to a lot of how close we have gotten, and it's just great. I mean, we both have a lot of the same values and it just works out really well, and she's honestly one of my best friends now, and my transition to college would not have been half as easy as it has been if Carly was not my roommate. So thank you, Carly. If anyone talked to me before I moved in and began college at the University of Alabama, you would know that I was planning on going through sorority recruitment, which I did, and I ended up in a house, and the house I got into was not for me. Long story short, long, hot, sweaty, emotionally draining, tear-filled week or 8-day long journey summed up into one word is that it just wasn't for me. Everyone says trust the process, so every house is an excellent choice, which I do believe every house would not be on sorority row at the nation's largest recruitment if it wasn't a good house, but I do believe that not every person belongs in every house. I am not in a sorority, and you know, it was a hard decision because I wanted it so bad. At the end of the day, God's plan is better. And so I've learned that by closing that one door, I've had so many better doors open for me. So really it's just trusting God, trusting His timing, even if it doesn't make sense right now. It was just reaffirmed that maybe the things that are right for everyone else just aren't right for me. And hey, I'm good with that. Now we'll move past the 8 days of heat stroke and move into the first day of classes. But the day before class started, we took our A-Day picture, which is where we got to go on the field in Bryant-Denny and make the Alabama A, and it was awesome, super fun. So my classes, quick little rundown of all the classes I was in, and then we'll move on from there. I was in Math 115, which was pre-calculus, algebra, and trig. I was in JCM 100, which is Introduction to Story. I was in MC 101, which is Mass Communications. I was also in UH100, which was my Honors Year 1 Foundations class. I was also in 2 online classes. One was CS 102, I believe, which was like the Intro to Computer Science or Computer Science 1 or whatever that title was. And then I was in JCM 103, which was Intro to Media Writing. But overall, college was not that difficult academic-wise for me my first semester, just because I knew I was going to college and I knew that if I was going to be paying all of this money to attend a 4-year university, that I was going to make the most out of it, and I still hold that mindset today. So that was my classes. So I guess I'll just go down the different organizations I'm involved in now. The first group that I actually got deeply involved in, and I'm so grateful that God placed in my life, was my college ministry and my small group, or my life group is what we call it. I go to Northport Baptist Church and actually run the college ministry's social media, which I never thought in a million years, as a complete stranger, new girl, that anyone would just trust me, like, oh yeah, this is what you like, this kind of stuff, like, oh, here's our login, take some pictures and post them for us. And I'm just like, what? I never in a million years thought I would be trusted with that. So I'm so thankful that that was God's way of just telling me, like, this is where you're meant to be. These are going to be your people. I honestly would not be where I am spiritually in my spiritual journey without this group. I mean, they push me every single week. These group of girls do. So my small group leader, or my life group leader, excuse me, is Macy, and she is the sweetest person ever. She invites us into her home every Thursday and cooks for us. And it just is so nice when you're living in a dorm and you're going through all these changes to go sit in a home, have a home cooked meal that's not in the cafeteria. So, Thursday nights are just the best. And then there's Sarah, who is super sweet and is gonna be the best nurse one day. And then there's Hannah Grace. She was so sweet. She was one of the first people to talk to me at Northport. Our first Wednesday night, I'm pretty sure it was the same night. So we just kind of bonded, me, her, and Catherine, who's the last person in my small group, who actually, she has some family really close to where my hometown is. So it is awesome because it's just we can relate to different things on that. But they're all really great girls, all really pushing me towards living a Christian lifestyle and showing me what it means to be a woman of God. Love, love, love my life group. Love, love, love my church. The second thing I'm going to talk about is something I'm unable to do next semester due to how many other things I have going on next semester. But that is my Alice Pals mentorship program, which I absolutely loved. I was a mentor for a little girl in the 3rd grade, and her name was Marley. We had a blast. Alice Pals is a great way to foster that love for children that I have and just be around those kids and be able to impact them positively. I'm gonna miss it a lot. The third thing I'm involved in is the UA Dance Marathon benefiting Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, which in Alabama is Children's of Alabama. So I love being able to blend two things that I love together because I'm on their graphics team there. So I'm able to use my graphic design experience to create graphics and such, along with a bunch of other really good, really talented graphic design artists. It's really awesome to be around other creators in that sense. And benefiting something I'm passionate about. They just bring joy to so many kids, and it's just awesome to know that my little graphic design Instagram story could help be raising money for these kids that truly, truly need this money. And our main event is coming up in February, so in my next semester review, I will talk all about that, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be, I think it's 13.1 hours of dancing. But bad dancing saves lives. That was cringy. Oh well, okay. Third thing I want to touch on is Capstone Agency, which is an advertising and PR firm that is all student ran on campus at the University of Alabama. I'm on a client team there where I helped do graphic design for the Plank Center. It has been an experience I didn't know I needed. It has taught me a lot about agency life, a lot about collaborative work, a lot about the hierarchy of how assignments go out and how to work with a client, because going into creative media, I don't really know what platform I'm going to be working on, what I'm going to have to deal with a client, and so it's just awesome to have that experience. Plus I love graphic design, and while it's not my truest passion, I know it's something I'm good at and that I could freelance in the future. So all this knowledge I'm gaining from having this experience, it's truly life-changing, and I have the best client team ever. They're all so sweet, such hard workers, and I really couldn't have been placed in a better place in Capstone Agency. So the last organization I want to talk about is Crimson Tide Productions, which is rather a job, but I absolutely love all of my time that I have at CTP, and we are the broadcast or media group for University of Alabama Athletics, and it is so, the energy in that place, every time you go in there, it's just people are so passionate about learning this, and it just sets my soul on fire. Like, that's just how I know I'm exactly where I'm meant to be and pursuing a degree in something that I absolutely love, because for most people I know, pursuing something in television or broadcast TV or sports or film or whatever direction I decide to go, I feel like that's almost like a dream, that's a hobby. But for me, I mean, that's my passion, so it's awesome to have these on-campus opportunities right there in front of me to be able to like really foster a deeper love for it and learn skills that you literally can't get anywhere else. So it's really, really awesome. I worked my first basketball game right before I came home for Christmas break, and my dad actually drove up and surprised me to see me that day, so that was super sweet. But all the people I met there are super inspiring, super just hardworking people, like you can just tell, and I just cannot wait to see all the adventures I'll go on because of this awesome opportunity that I'm so thankful for. I have some other things on here, but I feel like this is gonna be too long, so we're just gonna rapid fire these. I went to Music Midtown where I got to see Billie Eilish, who's like one of my favorite artists right now. But nothing ever stops you. Loved her. Walk the Moon, loved them for a long time. Why don't you wait for summertime? Panic at the Disco, also loved them for a really long time. They were both fantastic, and I think those are like my top three. Oh, and Kevin Garrett, the most underrated artist out there right now. Football games? Sitting in the Upper Bowl is difficult. You're either going to sweat more than you ever sweat in your life, or you're going to freeze because the wind is blowing everywhere because you're so high up in the air. So cannot wait to be out of Upper Bowl, but the LSU game was fantastic. It was the coolest energy I've ever been a part of when it came to like a football game. Like, yes, like my hometown rival game was like, yes, but when it's LSU versus the University of Alabama, like it's, just the energy was awesome. Would have loved a different outcome, obviously, but so worth every minute of being there. And then we actually had to play Southern Miss, where all my bestie girls are at, besides Katie, but Katie's at Montevallo, only like 30 minutes, 45 minutes away. So they all came for the Southern Miss game, and I got to show them around Tuscaloosa, which honestly that weekend was so special for me, and it was finally like, okay, like I have something that's my own. Like these people have always been like my own people, but now it's like we're all doing all these cool things, and now I get to show them around this new adventure. But then my small group actually like got into the swing of things, we got to know each other better, and we actually went to Sarah's hometown in North Alabama, and it was the sweetest trip ever. She had such fun things planned. Her hometown is so cute. I had one of the best burgers I'd ever eaten in my life. Her grandparents were the sweetest things ever. If I just think about that day, I just cry, because I'm like, I loved it. I loved feeling like I was wanted, and we just had the best trip, and it was just super great for that trip, and I cannot wait for them to come to Fairhope. And Carly will also be coming to Fairhope. But finals went great. I knew it's not gonna be easy to pay this much money to go to this big school, but I can't find this level of education at any other school in the state. for what I'm wanting to do. So it just made the most sense. And I know if I was going to be paying off student loans and having my parents and grandparents and anyone else that's helped me out or given me money towards college, have them contribute to something, I'm going to give it 110%. So I finished my first semester with a 4.0 GPA. Was it easy? No. But did I go to class more times than I didn't? Yes. I guess my biggest takeaway from my first semester of college is you're going to a new place with all these new people, and not everyone's gonna like you just because you are who you say you are. That's a big thing. You're gonna have to prove yourself to people and they're gonna have to prove themselves to you, or they should at least. It's not like in high school, like, oh, you like their picture on Instagram and then instantly y'all are best friends, or I'm not really sure how that all worked, but even if you're involved in the same stuff, I mean, you're not instantly gonna be best friends. It's a working process, especially when you're all goal-oriented and you're chasing your dreams. And I guess the second thing is it's not all gonna work out the way you want it to, because there's a lot of things that I thought was gonna happen one way, and I had all these plans, and the biggest thing I've learned is just that it's not gonna be exactly what you think. I'm super blessed to even have the opportunity to prove myself in these situations, but if I didn't have a talk with myself essentially before I went to college, like, you're not wasting your time here, then I don't think I would have been half as successful as I am. But I give a lot of credit to my parents for definitely supporting me and everything that I did, and just all my friends, my whole support system. Probably you watching this, but just for listening to me and helping me the past few years just figure out what I wanted to do and how to go about it and what to get involved in, and just continuing to support me, and my mama for listening to me complain about everything, because when you change environments, you change and people change, your relationships with people change. Thank you for watching. This was my first semester college update video of freshman year at the University of Alabama. But I hope all is well, and I hope you're doing great in whatever endeavors you are in, and I will see you in May 2020.